Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, December 23rd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they work and how they can be used to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Before I get to the stocks, real quick, just want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering. So if you're enjoying what you see as I go through the video and you want to learn more about the tool of technical analysis and how it can be used to build consistency as a trader, then definitely get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, so there's a link right down in the description box. If you're watching on my site, then there's going to be an area right there on the webpage that you can click on. So if you're liking what you see and you want to learn how to take this tool and build consistency as a trader, definitely get signed up for the free class. Now, a couple quick clarification points. First off, I am going to be doing what's known as the 30-minute time frame. So if you're a beginner, that means that each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. And then next, the market is still open for a little bit. So you'll notice that the final candle here is going to be continuing to move. But I like to do this when the market's still open because sometimes we can capture some really entertaining action. But overall, the levels I talk about are still going to be relevant here going into Thursday. But first one here, ticker symbol SOPA. And this will mean a tad bit more to those of you that watched the previous video. But I talked about that resistance line right there, drew it into place. I mean, check it out. Just an absolutely beautiful textbook breakout and got a huge move to the upside. So overall, if you took that breakout, congratulations. You had a very, very nice day. So what I'm going to do is just delete these lines out as they both serve their purpose for now. But now the newest levels to watch, and the level here that I think a whole lot of traders will be watching, which is always important because when lots of traders are watching the same level, wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can definitely produce some, good dynamic movements. Is right up there around, let's call it give or take the $18 mark. So while nothing is guaranteed, so I'm not suggesting that, what I am suggesting is that it's a plausible thought process to have, that if the price can work its way back up to that trend line and get the break of it, that could create additional buying pressure. And we already had that example here, right? Started off talking about that trend line right there, got the breakout there, and there was, the additional buying pressure. Some of that, I'm sure, caused by shorts needing to cover, and the same exact premise would, apply here. So again, doesn't mean it's guaranteed to happen, but certainly makes it a plausible thought process to have. If you do like to play pullbacks, then a potential pullback point that in my mind stands out right down there around the $13 mark. But overall, those are kind of the two choices. If you're a breakout player, I'm sure there's lots of people watching that trend line there. If you're a pullback player, I'm sure lots of people are watching down around 13. Next one, AVCT. And overall, I like this one. First off, just because it's already in a very nice overall uptrend. I mean, you can do something like that and, becomes pretty apparent that there's a nice upwards channel. And then within the upwards channel itself today, very nice day, great volume. And then you got to like this late day action here. And again, the candle's still moving because the market's open, but closing with a good, nice green candle here. So really the big question mark now moving forward is, okay, is the price ultimately going to be able to have enough strength to break up through this area right there? And let's call it right around $2, give or take, and 55 cents. I'm trying to kind of split the difference there, but the general area, $2.55 is going to be that key breakup point. Now, who knows? Maybe you're watching this because the market's still open for a little bit, like I said. Maybe the price is already broken above that level by the time. So you already have that answer because you can look at the chart by the time this gets uploaded and you'll know. So if the price does and has actually broken through 255 already, well, at that point, the question becomes, okay, well, how far up above 255 is it? And the further up above 255, that just represents the more and more strength that this chart is apparently gaining. But if the price is still down below it, well, then that just means that that's still going to be the main breakout point to watch moving forward. As far as levels of support, and once again, going back to the logic kind of the pullback players, $2.10 seems to be a very plausible area, given the price did a good job of bottoming out there. But overall, if you do like to play momentum moves that are in overall uptrends, I definitely say get this one on your watch list. Next one here, AMC, and overall, not a big deal. Let me take a step back. I suppose that depends on your strategy going in. So meaning if you're a day trader and you bought, right there this morning because you thought the price was going up and you wanted to buy and sell within 10 minutes, well then, okay, from that angle, yeah, the chart's not looking so good. But from the big picture point of view, nothing wrong has occurred. And for those of you longer time viewers, you know why that's the case, because this trend line here, which I'm going to continue to extend up, has not been violated. Now, sure, the price got closer to it, but just because it's gotten closer to it doesn't mean that it's been violated. So overall, yes, today, not the most exciting day, especially after you consider that on Tuesday, the price was up that high and really just continued to go down today. But despite the past couple of days experiencing a pullback, it really just goes to show how strong of the move it's been for the price to be able to endure 2 days of pulling back, but yet still being relatively far up above that trend line right there. So again, overall, from the support side of things, Everything is still perfectly fine. And then from the resistance side of things, nothing has changed here. Let me actually just break this down so you can see a little bit better of where these lines are coming from. So again, just going to go ahead and extend this line out some more. And the key area of resistance on any upside movement is up at around 32. But that's kind of irrelevant right now, given that the price has pulled back. But again, overall, assuming that you're not some sort of day trader, scalper, or something like that, the chart is still fine and the chart is still trending upwards. Next one, BVXV. And this one I had no plans of doing because it was looking like, okay, pretty much game over. But look at this last 30 minutes. Talk about a quick turnaround. Price is shot back up. So because of that, that's a pretty big game changer. And to be fair, maybe it doesn't ultimately mean anything. Maybe the price is going to keep on bleeding downwards. But I mean, that's definitely a two-sided coin because, I don't know, maybe this is a surge and kind of a leading indicator, that the price is going to regain momentum on Thursday. So the level that really stands out to me now from a resistance side of things is right down here around that area. And let's just call it the $3 mark, give or take. So $3 seems to be that key breakout area where, again, nothing's guaranteed, as I've said, but is it, valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price can't break up through $3, that could send it upwards? Yeah, absolutely. And then now we have a very well-defined support area because we finally kind of got the end, not kind of, we did get the answer of where did the bleeding stop. That was basically right down there around 235. So keep an eye on it. Maybe it'll just kind of chop around both, between these levels on Thursday. And if that's the case, it'll just be a waiting game to see which way this little miniature pattern that could potentially form breaks out. But yeah, like I said, hard to pass up on this one now, seeing how crazy this last 30 minutes has gone. So we'll see if it carries into Thursday or not. Next one here, SEAC, and this one is strictly built around the premise of if you like to play ugly stocks that haven't quite closed the gap, well, then this is one that would be on the watch list because, I realize I state the obvious. This thing is ugly. To think it gapped up here, ran up to that area, and then essentially from that point, I mean, there was a little miniature bounce right there, but essentially just bled and bled and bled all day long and has become very ugly. But what's interesting about the ugly is now it's sitting at a very interesting level because it's a little bit of a double whammy here down around a double 85. Did I say double 85? I meant $1.85. It's a double whammy at $1.85. So the first whammy is that purple line there, the 50-period moving average. The second whammy is that green line there, which represents that gap close location. Now, let me be very clear. Does that mean that for sure guaranteed the price is going to find some consolidation here and bounce upwards? Again, of course not. No guarantees. But is it plausible? Is it at least a rational thought process to have? Absolutely, especially if you are able to honor and respect trade plans from a risk perspective, because you could have a very minimal risk here. And sure, you could lose money, but very minimal risk. But if you get any sort of, bounce or dare I say some sort of complete reversal, then you're looking at a lot of potential upside reward. So if you like to play these sorts of, pullback plays that get really ugly, but haven't quite completely crashed yet, because again, it is still above these areas of support right here, then this has definitely become a very fascinating play. Next one here, ACST, and what was it? The BVXV. Very interesting 30 minutes on that one, and check this final 30 minutes. Talk about a big turnaround, and as I speak, this candle keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So closing out very, very strong, and the market's going to close here in under a minute. So these candles will stop moving here, but wow, what a close here, and this is why I like to do it when the market's still open, because you get to capture action like this. But moving forward, headed into... Now, I don't think it's going to break. Is it going to break through that level? It's got under a minute to get up through that resistance. Oh, this is awesome. Can it get through it? Oh, there we go. Got a breakout. Is it going to stay above it, though? That's the question. There we go. How much time do we have left? Okay. 10 seconds left. We might as well just watch this. How big is this breakout going to get? Uh-oh. Pulling back. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and closed. So that candle's not going to move anymore. So there we go. You saw it happen, and that's exactly why I like to do these when the markets are open. You just never know. So great action there. But now this trend line, definitely going to be that main level to watch moving forward. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let's just adjust it because we finally got that last data point, and that actually got rejected at that data point right there. Now, if you want to use that original trend line I drew, there's nothing wrong with that at all. The point here being is, right around this general area of the chart, found some resistance, so keep an eye on that moving forward. From a support side of things, I think the most logical support to watch is going to be just to get that trend line in play there, because that is illustrating the fact that it's trending upwards. Let me change that to green to represent more of a bullish dynamic. So keep an eye on that. And really just from a pattern perspective, what we have now is just this wedge pattern here that's forming. So it's just a question of, can this momentum that we just witnessed carry into Thursday and cause the breakout? That's the big question that makes the most sense to be asking. Next one, SNDL, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that watched the previous video because I talked about this red line here of resistance at 63, but the good news is the trend has continued so much so that it's finally gotten the breakout of that level, which prompts the first update in this update based on a foundational rule in charting, when levels of resistance are broken and closes above, you want to see them act as support. So now moving forward, the ideal level of support would be 63 cents, meaning if you were to say, Clay, what make this chart look the best moving forward? Well, yeah, ideally, if it can stay above 63 cents, that would be fantastic. But if the price breaks below, it doesn't mean the entire chart's destroyed or anything like that. But yeah, staying above that level would definitely make the chart look the strongest. But now what about areas of resistance? And as you see here, having to squeeze down the chart quite a bit, which is always a good problem to have because it's been quite a while since this price has been up around this area. But the next overall level of resistance that really stands out to me going to be right up there at the 67-cent mark. So 67 cents is that next key battleground to watch, but from a bigger picture and just, kind of stair-step building perspective, if you will, you have a stair-step there. So in other words, a set of lows. You have a stair-step there, that set of lows, another stair-step, another stair-step, another stair-step. And as long as these stair-steps continue to be constructed in the upwards direction, that is by far what matters most. But overall, another great day. So if you like to play these uptrending stocks in this price range, here you go. Next one, AERC. And what's interesting about this is that, it's pulled back. And why do I say that? What do I mean by that? Well, the whole idea of, I don't know, am I chasing the price? Am I suffering from FOMO, fear of missing out? That's been alleviated. Now, the people that bought right there, yeah, they were suffering from FOMO, and those people are probably not very happy right now. However, in this situation, assuming you're still just watching, it's pulled back. Now, that doesn't mean that the price is going to go back up, but it does mean at least you're not going to be one of these people that are buying the tops or anything like that because the price, again, has already pulled back and has created a nice little pattern here headed into Thursday. So let me get this pattern into place. So there's the resistance. Again, let me change that to green to represent support. And then really maybe to make this the easiest to see, let's make this all one color. So we have the resistance there. We have the support there. We have the momentum move right there, and this is what would be known as a bull flag pattern. So if you like to play these sorts of patterns, and again, it's a nice pattern because it's alleviated the, I don't know, am I chasing? Is this FOMO? Am I going to be am I going to be that person that's buying the top? Well, no, you don't have that concern here. And it's shown the ability to move and move quickly, which is always a benefit to have, but it's also shown that it's pulled back, so that helps with the risk profile on it. So with the pullback and forming this bull flag pattern, if you like to play these sorts of situations, well, then here you go. Next one, LCID. And what I like about this one is it's really starting to form some very, very, very well-defined areas. Specifically, this trend line down here around the 36.25 mark, although it's not totally relevant. So this is kind of what makes this and why I hesitate. I don't know, should I really put this on here or not? Because quite literally, and let me extend that trend line out, the price is essentially right in between both of these levels. Now, sure, it's a little bit closer down here, but generally speaking, yeah, it's essentially right in the middle of this pattern. But this is LCID, and this thing can just move and move pretty big relatively quickly and out of nowhere. So I figured, let's just get it on the watch list. And if this thing all of a sudden decides to go bonkers from the upside or go bonkers to the downside, at least both levels have now been documented. And a lot of people are going to be watching those levels because a lot of people have drawn these trend lines here and they've noticed that, wow, yeah, the price is doing a very good job of respecting and staying between these two trend lines. However, there is going to be that point in time where the price no longer is respecting those trend lines. And that's where, as traders, those situations in time are definitely worth paying attention to. Again, does that mean that it happens tomorrow? I'm not saying that, but with LCID, you just never know. So figured I wanted to keep this one updated here and keep these overall trend lines mapped out because, like I said, you just never know. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, big move here. Did this one yesterday, talked about that trend line, but it did get the breakout via the gap up, and then after that just kept on moving higher and higher. So the first thing here is I'm just going to get rid of both these levels as they've become irrelevant for now, and let's zoom into some of the more relevant levels tomorrow. And the first level that I think a lot of people, I know a lot of people are going to be watching because it sticks out like a sore thumb. So longs and shorts and everybody in between going to be watching right there around that 993 mark. You can see that, during this pullback here, the price had quite a bit of data points that it formed right at that level before finally getting the bounce. So if the price does pull back, you're going to have people wondering, all right, is that going to be produced? I'm not saying a complete reversal or crash, but a bit of a bigger pullback. But you're also going to have long, so you're going to have shorts thinking that, but you're going to have long saying, well, or is this thing just going to bounce once again? So that'll definitely be a level that myself and I'm sure lots of others will be watching. And then as far as resistances are concerned, pretty straightforward, right up there at, what is that? The 1010 mark. So you can see right here earlier on in the day, the price bumped its head on that level several times in a row. And then even the last 30 minutes, price essentially bumped its head right on that level. So again, going back to the topic of, self-fulfilling prophecy type areas, 1010 is an area that a whole lot of breakout players are going to be watching, and rightfully so. It makes sense to be keeping an eye on that level. So we'll see how it plays out relative to that and see what sort of movement we get on Thursday. And that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like this video and you like the tool of technical analysis, you're starting to see the potential of it and you want to take your understanding to another level and see why it's so powerful and how it should be used, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Like I said, it'll be next week, Thursday, December 30th. So one of those things, do it right before the New Year's, a good, New Year's resolution, start to build consistency as a trader. And you can do that, like I said, by getting signed up for the class. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to make these videos, then do two things for me. Hit that like button, leave a basic comment, say hi, tell me a ticker symbol that you're watching tomorrow. Give me a smiley face emoji. But hitting the like button, leaving a simple comment, go a long way in communicating to me that you like these videos. And as long as I know people are liking them, then I will continue to put out these top 10 lists. So take care. Everybody have a good one. And definitely get signed up for the free class.